All right, so at this time, I would like to welcome Rob Hannon to speak with us about the Field of Dreams. So thank you for joining us today.
Okay, so yes, I am still the president of Field of Dreams. I wear a few other hats. So first, also president of Greater Salem Contractors Association. So thank you guys for the tree donation in December. That was amazing. That's really a fun event. We're able to give back to needy families, so that is awesome. What else do I do? I'm also the owner of RWH Architect, which I do in my free time. I give a lot of time to Field of Dreams. I sit on the 275th Planning Committee with the town, working on those events, which we can talk about a couple of those in a minute. I'm also on the Veterans Common Park Renovation Committee, sort of, quasi. My firm gave pro bono design services for the new stuff that's, I don't know if this is open to the public yet, but you can see it's coming. We redesigned the park. We put a big monument, big sculpture there. There's some mixed emotions about, whether or not this should be where it is.
Is that in the center, or is that the one they're talking about at?
In Veterans Park, across from like Red Barn.
Yeah.
I think Pat is actually going to come and talk to us about that.
Awesome.
About
All
the
right.
plans.
I won't say too much. I'll leave it to Pat, but that's happening. So I know that 275th is looking for money. This is going to be looking for money. So there's a lot of people asking. I respect that. I will pass around our sponsorship brochures, but more what I want to do is talk. And if anybody doesn't want it, you don't want to hold on to it, you're not going to look at it, please give them back. They're expensive. We need every cent we can get. I'll talk about what we're doing at the park this year. So let me jump in and talk about what we did last year. Last year we spent $130,000 on the park. A big sum of that went to painting the playground structure, which needs to happen more often than it has happened in the past. We replaced a lot of the boards that weren't working. We're still not done. We still have probably $15,000 to $20,000 worth of renovations to go just to keep it safe. Right now we're putting lipstick on it, trying to extend the life as possible. We know that it's going to be $3 to $4 million to replace it with something that's of equal stature, and that's going to take a lot of time to raise that money. So we're looking into grants on how we can do that, because we know that several $1,000 donations here or there is never going to get us there. So we're spending some time doing that, figuring out how we can do that. But maintaining the park, we're putting on great events. Last year, we had a very successful season. Let me jump into, we replaced the irrigation. What else did we do out there last year? We added Wi-Fi, we had a security system, and we added Wi-Fi so that it can be monitored. This year we're hoping to extend the security system, but it's a big expense to run data lines to cover the parking lot. It's a lot of trenching. So that we're considering. The fun stuff at the park are the events that we put on for the community. This year we have 8 concerts. What we're doing different this year, we've added an opening act, a 45-minute opening act. So now the concerts will start at 5:45. They'll go for 45 minutes with an opener. There'll be a few minutes for me to get up and do our announcements, talk to the community, and then we'll go right into a 2-hour show with the headliner. So we have 8 of those concerts. A big one, personally for me, is June 20th. That's our first concert of the year. We're bringing back Foreigner's Journey, FJ tribute now. The cost of that band is very expensive. It was beyond the budget of Field of Dreams. So my company stepped up. We fronted the money for that band, and we're opening it to the public. So it's going to be a celebration for my business's 10-year anniversary, and it's on us. So not many people get to see Foreigner's Journey for free, so this is a great opportunity. So June 20th, it's a Friday. Mark your calendars, 5:45. And then the next 3 of concerts, June 27th, which is a Friday, July 11th, which is a Friday, July 18th, which is a Friday, and then July 24th, July 31st are both Thursdays. And Thursday, July 31st, Salem Boys come back. And Friday, August 15th, B Street Bombers, and August 22nd, which is a Friday, Madhouse Party Band. So I will pass these schedules around. I gotta hold on to one. We'll get some going that way. Hopefully I have enough, I'm not sure. There's one more here. So for the 275th, what we're doing, Field of Dreams has agreed to host the Lafayette reenactment at Field of Dreams. That's on June 21st. I'll call him an actor, maybe? Not exactly sure, but he's going to pull up behind Town Hall. He's going to get on a horse, gets in a carriage from a horse. They come around, they're going to enter the Field of Dreams parking lot, come around in front of the pavilion. He's going to get off, he's going to do a speech to the community, just like he might have done 200 years ago.
I can fill in that gap for you.
Awesome. Please do.
1825, Lafayette laid the cornerstone for the Bunker Hill Monument, and then after that, made a trip from Boston to Concord, stopping in Salem for dinner at the house I grew up in. And
Interesting.
and the true story. And then, you know, they're doing this thing all over the country with his 1825 farewell tour to the country. And I guess it's pretty impressive, this whole reenactment thing. So,
Yes.
yes. I could give more, but I'll stop.
Yeah, I'm no historian, but Field of Dreams is excited to be able to host this event and coordinate it for the town. That's on June 21st, which is the day after you'll be at Field of Dreams for Foreigner's Journey, so keep that in mind.
Sleep in.
So that's one of the things we're doing as part of Salem's 275th anniversary. Also, I'm sure you guys know, we do Family Fun Day every year. That's our big fundraiser. My wife and I invented that event back in 2017. It's been very successful. We've been bringing $25,000 to $30,000 into the park every year. This year, I actually was asked to sit on the committee for the Salem 275th. And they were discussing they want to hold Celebration in August, which would be a town fair event, close Garamonte and have a whole town fair. So Field of Dreams agreed to not host Family Fun Day this year and forgive our $250,000, $30,000 income that we make typically per year to help Salem with the Celebration event. So the park is still going to host a bunch of the stuff that we do, the petting farm, face painting, photo opportunities with characters. There'll be sponsor tents. We're still working on getting Home Depot to secure. They always come in and do like an activities tent where you can build stuff. An organization called STEM Spot is going to be there with science experiments for kids to do. What else do we have going on? There will be performances on stage all day. I think we have 2 opening acts. George Williams is one of them. And then Ashley Wineland. She's a country singer from Arizona, and she's coming up for this event. She was doing a New England tour, so I found her. So that's awesome. That's on August 9th, Saturday, August 9th, 12 to 5 at Field of Dreams, but actually it's all the way up Garamonte. But all the stuff that we typically do is going to be out at Field of Dreams. But it's important to note that we gave up the money that we typically make from that event for the town of Salem. We also do 3 movie nights in the summer. Tuesday, June 17th, we're doing Elemental. Tuesday, July 15th, doing Moana 2. And Tuesday, August 5th, Trolls Band Together. These are focused at the kids, folks, I'm sorry. And that starts at 6 p.m. But we rent a 10-foot by 17-foot digital TV, so it's not a projection screen. So there's actually, I think there's a picture in the brochure of one. It's awesome. It's bright. We hire a company to come in, build that TV system in place on the stage, and it's awesome. Last year at those events, we saw 300 plus people at each one of the movies. But all that stuff is fun. The real draw this year, I think, is that we are adding, hold on to one, I'll send a few that way so people can see it. We are adding a concession booth to the park. So if anybody's driven by Field of Dreams, you might have noticed that the old stage, the old wood platform has been taken down. It's mixed emotions, it's been there for 33 years, but it was time to go, it was failing, the structure was failing. So we plan to build, and I say planned, I was on the phone with Gary Merrill this morning talking about getting him out there this week to start the subgrade. We have to excavate for the subgrade, we're gonna get the old telephone poles out of the ground where the old stage was. And we are gonna build a concession booth in that place. The structure of it is actually a metal storage container, and then we dressed it up with some wood siding and some lighting. So this year, you'll be able to get your popcorn, your soda, and events. We haven't picked out which events yet will be serving alcohol at some of our events, probably our larger concerts.